So that was insane. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be giving you my spoiler-filled thoughts on episode 2 of Loki. Before I do so, definitely hit the like button, comment your thoughts down below, and consider hitting that subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. So if you have not seen episode 2 of Loki, definitely go watch it, then come back and watch this video. But spoilers in 3, 2, 1. Episode 2 of Loki. Is it better or worse than the first? Honestly, they're pretty much on par for me right now. Now, the first episode of Loki, I think did a great job of setting up the rest of the story. This picks up pretty much right where that episode left off. So straight up, majority of this episode is just Loki almost working a desk job at the TVA, where Mobius is kind of trying to get him to uncover more about the variant. So Loki's reading through, and then he gets to a file on Ragnarok, which I thought it was pretty cool to have a name drop on Ragnarok. Loki has a moment, a light bulb moment, where he's like, I wonder if this variant is just going through different disasters because it's going to mask the fact that they're messing with different timelines and going to different realities. It's not going to trigger in the TVA because disaster is already going to occur and stuff's going to get wiped out. Obviously, in Ragnarok, Asgard gets destroyed. Loki and Mobius go to Pompeii, and then Loki kind of goes crazy, telling them they're all going to die, and there's nothing that happens. Nothing changes because, again, the volcano still erupts and everyone dies. So it proves the fact that a variant could still go to various disasters in different timelines and get away with things because the TVA would not pick it up. Now, that's a big chunk of this episode. There's slower moments, in my opinion. I think it ended on a high note, which kind of overshadows the episode itself. Trust me, I enjoy the episode, don't get me wrong, but there are a lot of slower moments where I think, scenes with Loki and Mobius are just going on and on. They could have been cut down a little bit. And I think there's just a lot of exposition-heavy moments in this show, which makes sense because they have to explain to us what exactly the TVA is and how the hell time works. There's actually a scene where Loki takes Mobius's lunch. It's a salad, and he's adding salt, and even pours Casey's drink into it at one point, just to kind of give us a visual of what the hell is going on in the TVA, because it's really confusing at times. But they're doing their best to explain it, and I think that for the most part, I'm following along. But everyone's talking about this episode for one reason and one reason only. The wild, insane ending. So Loki and Mobius were looking through files, and they find a disaster in the year where Kablooby, the gum from the first episode that the little kid has, where that gum is, because that is obviously a hint. And I think they went to like some city in Alabama or some town in Alabama, and they go to this like convenience store type place. But ultimately, it all leads to the reveal that Lady Loki is the variant. Now, I was convinced it was Lady Loki after the last episode. That was my prediction. Me and Cam talked about it in episode 2 of The Unusual Couple. Check it out. I'll link it up above. I hope this stays Lady Loki. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it's Lady Loki for the duration. I hope it's not like maybe a Skrull or someone like another Loki variant acting like they're Lady Loki. I hope it's straight up Lady Loki, and I think it is. They haven't given us any reason to doubt it. The biggest moment in this episode is when she has a bunch of those little time bombs, and she sets them off and sends them to different realities, and there's a shot of, at the TVA headquarters, we see the sacred timeline, and there's a bunch of branches coming off of it. Now, this goes to show that this could be triggering the multiverse of madness. That's what I think it's leading into. Now, I think the rest of the show, they're going to try and solve this. If you really pay attention to the branches and you read the time logs, there's one for Vormir, there's one for Asgard, there's one for like the 1400s in like Lisbon, Portugal. There's so many different realities that have been time bombed essentially that are going to have to be fixed. I wonder if that's where the show is going to play out. So at this point, we really can't predict what's going to happen, and that's something I love about the show. Honestly, I feel like we haven't even seen much from the trailers moving forward past episode 2, which is crazy. I think this show is going to deal with the multiverse, and I think that Loki's going to try and fix as much as he can, and I think he will end up fixing a good bit of it with the help of the TVA, but ultimately I think this is going to have a backlash that leads into No Way Home and definitely Multiverse of Madness. We're going to see the implications of Loki on the rest of the MCU as the timeline has essentially been shattered at this moment and it has to be fixed. That's definitely going to play into a movie called Multiverse of Madness in some way, shape, or form. But at the very end of this episode, Lady Loki goes through a portal and Loki runs after her. As Mobius is sprinting in trying to stop him, Loki runs after. So he's not with the TVA anymore. He's in some other reality with Lady Loki. We have no clue exactly what's going on. I think Mobius and Loki's relationship grew in this episode, so I hope we get to see more of them. I hope they're not separated for too long, but it looks like it might just be Lady Loki and Loki from here on out with Mobius tracking them on their tails. Honestly, this episode was insane. With 4 episodes left, there's so much to cover, and I think it's going to leave us on a cliffhanger in the end, which is going to make me salty, but I'm still excited to see more. The last 15 minutes were truly riveting. The score continues to impress. It had Stranger Things vibe this time around. In the first episode, I said there was Tenet vibes, Game of Thrones vibes. Throw in Stranger Things with that synth score. It's really a badass score, one of the better ones from the MCU in my opinion, and I have to give it major props for that because it adds to that intensity and just creates those tension-filled moments. But overall, I think there were some pacing issues in the episode. It was a little slow at times in my opinion. I don't know if you guys felt the same, but I think that it ended with an absolute bang, and moving forward, I don't think we're going to have many slow moments in the show because it's just going to be riveting and nonstop. Let's fix this timeline. It's continued to playing into the rest of the MCU, which I think is something I'm excited to see because the other two shows didn't quite as much play into the MCU as this is going to. So overall, I really dug this episode. What did you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Definitely hit the like button, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It would mean the world. I do Loki watch parties every week with my girlfriend Cam, episode reviews, all that good stuff. So thank you all for watching. You're the best. Stay tuned for a live stream coming tonight with my great friend Trevor from Film Geeks. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait. 9 p.m. Eastern here on the Film Stock channel. Follow me on TikTok, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd. All that's linked down below. Thank you all for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys later.